like I was saying, we are not going to be paying road toll levy. This is a government that promised you and I that in this last year, it was going to be a year of roads. It could not do that. Ask them how many kilometers of road they did, and they cannot tell you enough. Instead, the president was promising us at that time that he is going to do what? Build 88 new regional hospitals, 88 district hospitals. Promises. Just promises. The motorway, which has become a death trap, we are supposed to now still be paying. If we are seeing worth the sweat of what we are paying, we wouldn't worry. But I think Ghanaians are also the reason. We are not angry enough. We are not angry enough. So they are now telling us that we need to pay COVID-19 health levy, road toll levy, and there's another one called gaming tax. You see, this is a government that believes in gambling. They are gamblers. They believe that you must reap where you didn't sow, as they are doing themselves. So in one way to get the youth busy, knowing they are not creating jobs, the only thing most of the youth are taken to now is gambling. So there are a lot of betting companies all over. In the villages, in the hinterland, wherever, you will find one gambling company belonging to an Indian man or someone else, or a Ghanaian fronting for them. So hey, put 1 cedi here and you will get 50 cedis back. So you get excited. This is what we call a government. When Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and his Baumia were calling John Dramani Mahama and the NDC a lazy government, what are they doing today? So that is not enough. We're also going to be having something called the sanitation and pollution tax. Sanitation? The government that promised us that within the first 100 days in office, it was going to make Accra the cleanest city. We have passed 365 days times 4. Accra is not even close to the cleanest city. If you go to the president's own private residence at Nima there are weeds growing all around his fence, his wall. That is how dirty the president himself even is. So how do you expect that he can do anything about sanitation? We had his girlfriend, what's the name? One of his appointees come to tell us that they are making Accra the cleanest city. What's the name of the lady? The one who said COVID-15 or COVID-14 or whatever. You go to the markets. Does it require rocket science, Mr. President? NPP, does it require rocket science for you to know that you need to just bring back the town council system where you employ task force who will be gainfully employed and will therefore be raking in some revenue because they will be tasked to go to homes, to cities, to companies, to communities to ensure that they are clean. And if you are found to be filthy, you will be charged. And that brings in revenue. Why are you taxing me instead? Why? In this time of hardship, economic hardship, when people are finding it difficult to even provide 3 square meals, people are eating twice a day. Some are eating once a day. Many are the people who send messages to people asking for 10 cities, 20 cities, 50 cities just to survive. Not for themselves alone, but even for their family. You, your Rebecca, your children, who and your family you have employed, you are all gainfully employed and enjoying the public purse. Looting it all, dissipating it. And we're not supposed to talk about it. Because if you say it, they will tell you, hey, be careful, they are wicked. They will do this. But that way, we are not scared. Life is one, death is one. You kill me today, you won't get a chance to even kill me tomorrow. So I will say it the way it has to be said. We have a useless president in charge. Is that not the same as an incompetent president? Is that not the same? If you were calling John Mahama incompetent, then what are you today? Are you even able to stay awake in your office for 4 hours non-stop? I don't blame you. Ghanaians are responsible. We are not angry enough. That is why now you are even introducing sanitation and pollution or tax. Pollution? You, this government, you are polluting us. You have made our head all hazy. And you are going to come to tax us for it. What? What? No. Look. Another one is what? 1% increment in the NHIL. Just this morning, I was listening to City FM, Bernard Avler and Godfrey. In the eastern region, the regional hospital has detained over 264, almost 300 patients who have been discharged or who have been treated, but they are not able to pay for their bills. On average, each one of them is owing 1,000 cedis. You people have destroyed the National Health Insurance Scheme, and you don't want us to talk about it. Don't forget, when you came to power in 2017 in your budget, you told us that you have paid over 720 million, or was it 1.2 billion of a debt left behind by John Dramani Mahama. Congratulations, you have done well. No government has left a debt behind before. 2018, you mentioned the same thing. 2019, you were mentioning the same thing. So after you have paid the debt 3 times, why is the National Health Insurance not on its feet? You have collapsed it. You have destroyed it. No single state institution is now up and on its feet. You have compromised all. I cannot trust the judiciary because I have investor friends who have told me same, and I believe them. They can't trust our judiciary to actually serve them justice if they should come and invest in this country. If they have any litigation, they feel that justice will be bought. And you are saying you want investors in this country? Are you kidding me? Look. Now you are bringing us 1% increment in national health insurance. When you haven't told us what you have done yet. People are dying. Go to Efik Kwanta Regional Hospital. The hospital is sinking. It is sinking. And it's the same all over. You are here saying you will build 88 hospitals. What have you done apart from amassing wealth for yourself and your family? Come on. And you see, then you're also talking again about 1% increment in VAT flat rate. Isn't it an irony? President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who then as a young man opposed vehemently when the former president, I don't like calling him late, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings introduced the VAT. You were against it. Last year, you introduced an increment. This year too, another increment. What hypocrites you have become. When Bawumia, our vice president, who I said, every day is nodding his head like an Agama lizard. Every day, nodding his head like this, like this. And I'm told Ramatu doesn't like that at all. It turns Ramatu off. It turns Mrs. Ramatu Bawumia off. But that's what he does. When Bawumia was calling John Mahama and the NDC a lazy government for taxing and borrowing, when Gabriel Chodapun, who cannot try to even step foot in a courtroom, but knows every law, wants to say things when it comes to thievery and criminality, then others will come to you and say, hey, be careful, these people are dangerous. Watch your steps, be careful, watch your tracks, they are dangerous, they can kill you. There is only one life and there is only one death. You kill me today, I am saying it further way, you will kill me tomorrow. After introducing this NHIL, you are now introducing another 1% increment in VAT, and then the ESLA, Energy Sector Levy. The Energy Sector Levy Act, now which has been passed into law. It was supposed to be a sunset clause. It was supposed to end after we finish servicing our energy sector debts. When John Dramani Mahama introduced this, you guys were crying foul, screaming on rooftop, doing this and all of that. No way, it is not the best for us. Petrol price is too high. Today, how much is petrol? At the end of December 2016, petrol was less than 4 cedis, was about 3 cedis, 3.67 or 3.68 per liter. Today, where are we? Where are we today? When a president sits or sits in front of camera on national television and tell you and I that according to the science and data available and in front of him, 85% of Ghanaians were wearing masks, you should know that is a liar. He can't even tell truth to his children. He cannot even be trusted to tell truth to his wife. What did you people not do to John Mahama in the NDC? Is this the leadership you promised Ghanaians? What promises have you fulfilled? 3 SHS. Now, as if the ESLA is not enough, the 8th one, which is another shocker, is what? Financial sector cleanup levy. Jesus Christ. You are not even smart criminals after all. You just put it out there. The cleanup that you claim credit for and said you spent billions. How much was it? I've forgotten the figures. To clean up. When we were asking you to account for it, now you are coming back to tax me for it. So why were you not listening to us when we were telling you how to go about it? Now you are going to hit the wall and you are coming back to us with some arrogance to even tell us that you are taking what? Financial sector cleanup levy from us? Really? This is bad as it can get. Bad as it can get. Then the last one, fellow Ghanaians. We have to resist this government even before its tenure ends. Because they are telling us that there is going to be a 5.7% fuel increment. And that's going to be constant. It's not as if it's just now and no. So if it is 30 pesos, there's going to be an additional 30 pesos on the petrol you'll be buying at the pump. Did we go or did we come? Are these the people who said they are competent in managing the economy? And you want me to mind my words? When these are people who are looking you and I in the face and they are robbing us in daylight? We can't continue to tolerate this. If not, then it means Ghanaians, all of us are cowards. Then we are cowards. And they are continually testing our pulse. And they realize that we are not responsive. Our body is numb. We are not responsive to the pinches. And therefore they can do anything. I hope you get that. As for the vaccine, I don't know what to say. But I just wish to make this announcement. The following countries: Congo, Bulgaria, Norway, Denmark, Thailand, Ireland, Netherlands. Congo, Bulgaria, Norway, Denmark, Thailand, Ireland, Netherlands. These countries have stopped the use of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine because of worries, because of concerns. 3 days ago, 3 medics in the UK, 3 Norwegian medics, after administering this vaccine, had to be admitted. I'm not saying it's not good, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm also just letting you know that when it comes to the vaccines, this AstraZeneca is not even close to the best. So our government has been giving free of charge plus on $20 million, and they have taken that money, and therefore we can take it. If you take that vaccine, what happens? Huh? I can't preach against it. No, we need to all fight this pandemic together. Because if we leave it to this government alone, they won't do anything. They won't do anything. Now that they have exhausted all the monies they went for, from IMF, from the World Bank, from where and where, they have now come back home to you and I to say we should pay tax. And one of them is called what? COVID-19 health levy. Nana Dampa Akufo-Addo. Can you be such a broad-day thief? You have not convinced Ghanaians why we should pay that. And that is why you watching me and I have to resist it with all our strength and might. We have to. I do not know how to talk about this one, but if I don't talk much about it too, then I'm not being fair and objective. John Peter Amawu, Dominic Nitiwo, Howard Compson, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Godfred Dami, these guys who showed no respect to John Dramani Mahama as president and even as former president. And you went to vote on approving them, and some of our own MPs compromised their position. And they don't want us to talk about it. I know we have very good members of parliament in there, but some have also been compromised. That is why this has happened. And so as we speak now, Howard Compson has been emboldened. She even had the highest votes, which means that what? She should continue doing what she's been doing. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah should continue insulting John Dramani Mahama. Dominic Nitiwo should say anything at all he wants to John Dramani Mahama. Oh, NDC. And you were not happy that Sammy Jemfi said what? This is a young man who did everything possible. That was his best as a communications officer. He was also not perfect, but he did his best. And you don't expect him to comment about that. If you were in his shoes, you would have done that and probably even much worse. What were you expecting him to do? He spoke for the masses. He spoke for me. He spoke for others. And if you're not happy with it, don't tell me to go and pick a form to also go and contest. Then you should rather resign so that there will be vacancy, and then I will go and pick a form. Come on, we don't hate you, but we are only telling you the truth, that we are bruised by what some of you did. We were so bruised and we are still bruised. You have to fight hard to earn back our confidence. Because as it stands, it is even affecting the good ones, the good majority. I don't need to see you receiving bribe. Nobody gives receipts for bribe. So if you are told today, accused that it is because you were bribed, please accept it. After all, even Howard Compson said that. So you see, that is it. Then I need to talk about the textbooks. The textbooks. The NPP government, the NPP party, is known for calling the NDC the very names that the author is calling Voltaireans today in that book or in those books. I have had a lot of you, or a lot of them, tell me that I'm inward looking. I don't even know what it means though. Then suddenly we find it in books now, saying that when you go to Wulugu, in Pulugu, wherever, the whole city is dirty. And do you know what? Those writings have been made a poem or a song. Imagine my 3-year, 5-year-old daughter or son is taught this in a song. That will leave a scar on my conscience. That she is a Voltairean, and their main festival is Voodoo. Where did they learn that from? That we come from other countries. That we only like our people, our own. That we were enslaved by the Ashantis, and that is how come we learned to use or weave the kente. What nonsense. People like that don't deserve even to live. But we are tolerating them all. because there's something called democracy and free speech. For how long will this continue? Mother Ghana belongs to everybody who is Ghanaian. I am not a foreigner in this country. Have you heard of Philip Beho before? Ephraim Amu before? Do you know the role he played to the songs that you hear at the background? Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his NPP, you are hypocrites. You hide behind this Bedu Kosa or what have you, publishing whatever, to visit this kind of nonsense on Ghanaians, on Voltarians, on Nzimers, on Northerners. The reason why Kwame Nkrumah made sure that he built boarding schools was to ensure that people from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west, and from the center could all converge at one school and sleep in one dormitory. So they interact and they learn to become united, to promote national unity. That is the reason why I have a friend in Zima called Alfred Iwua. I have Azuma Azameti also there. I have somebody in the north called Issa Dramani. I have somebody in the eastern region called what is the name? Forgotten the names. Yes, but we have them all over. Now you are destroying that united fiber that we all have. So that if tomorrow I see an Akan, I should get angry at him and cut off his head. If you also see an Ewe and you don't like him, you cut off his head. If you see an Nzima, or an Nzima person sees Akufo-Addo, who are now calling the Kwame Nkrumah a dictator, they should cut his head off. So you will expect us to jump on each other's throats? No. I keep saying that the mess that this Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his Bawumia government is causing this country, it will begin to germinate in the next 10 years, by which time he may not even be alive. Give or take, he may not be alive. Then we will be blaming ourselves and the people in the helm of affairs at that time, when it is actually not their fault. It is you and I living today, watching, looking on us in that distance.